In this lesson, I'm going to talk about how to create viral hooks. Now, if you follow us and you've been following us for a while, you probably know how important hooks are, but I'm going to say this again because I'm not sure you understand the actual importance of hooks. So first of all, let's start by saying that if you get your hook wrong, nothing else matter, okay? You can have the perfect filming, the perfect editing, you can have the perfect script even, but it will not matter because people will have already scrolled to the next video. Now, on the other hand, if you get this right, you already have 80% of the work done, because this is by far the most important part of your videos, okay? Now, with that being said, what we wanted to do in this lesson is focus on the two fundamental principles, because there are a million different ways that you can write a hook. But these two principles are fundamental if you want to create a hook from scratch that actually works and gets you views, okay? Now, the first principle is the promise of a payoff, okay? So, whenever someone watches your video, they have to get this question answered. So, what will I get by watching this? Now, your hook has to immediately make them understand what they will get out of that video, okay? They need to have a reason to watch your entire video. And so that is the fundamental principle of hooks. If you don't have this, your hook will simply not make sense. It will not be a real and effective hook. Now, the second principle, and this is also extremely important, and it's what most people get wrong, it's that you have to make it about them, okay? I'm sorry to break it to you, no one cares about you. No one cares about anyone else other than themselves. And this is extremely important. You need to understand and internalize this every time that you create content. You're talking to a person on the other side of the screen, and all they care about is themselves. How are they going to get something out of this video? Are they going to get something out of this video, first and foremost? And secondly, why should they listen to you? Okay, you have to give them a reason to care, and the easiest way is to make it about them. Now, in a perfect world, you would be able to call out every single person directly, okay? You would be able to say their first name, because that's the most powerful word that they can hear that will actually get their attention. That, unfortunately, is not possible, but you can do the second closest thing to that, which is focusing on the you, okay? Focusing on calling them out in the sense of talking to the person on the other side of the screen, okay? So, again, make it about them. I will give you an example of a hook. Now, let's say that I want to talk about marketing, and I want to make a super simple and basic hook. I can say, here's why I think that marketing is extremely important. Now, that is not powerful, because it lacks this. It has the promise of a payoff, because the person is going to get why marketing is extremely important out of that video. So there is some kind of payoff. But it doesn't work because it doesn't match this second principle, okay? Because the first thing that the person is going to think is, why should I care? Who are you to tell me why marketing is extremely important for you, okay? And so the way that you can change this, for example, is, here's why you should care about marketing. Or you can make it even more powerful than this, of course. This is just a basic version of the hook. But you see the difference in this. I've made it about them, okay? Here's why you should care about marketing. Not what I think. No one cares about what I think. Here's why you should care about marketing. This is one of the most important and powerful principles that you can use to actually create hooks that work. Now, there is a small exception to this. Most times it doesn't apply, but there is a small exception to this, which is make it about them unless you gave them a reason to care about you, okay? AKA social proof. Now, of course, if you have some incredible results and you can talk about those results directly in your hook, you can make people care about you in the sense of, I could say, I made $100 million by using marketing the right way, and here's why I think marketing is extremely important. Now you care. You still care because you're still going to get something out of this video for yourself. But making myself the authority, okay, and talking about some kind of social proof that I have immediately makes me valuable in some sense. And so at this point, there's not anymore the question of why should I care about what you have to say? You should care because I just told you that I made $100 million with marketing, okay? And so that is the only exception in which it can work even by focusing on yourself and by using the I. Other than that, you always have to make it about them, okay? Again, no one cares about you. Unfortunately, that's the truth. It's really harsh, but it's the truth. So make it about them. So again, hooks, extremely important. You have to nail them down. And to make sure that they actually work, you need to follow these two principles. So have the promise of a payoff. People need to understand that they are going to get something out of that video, and make it about them. Focus on them. Focus on the you. Focus on the person on the other side of the screen. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next lesson.